You put your time, energy, effort, all your creative work, you threw it into a project and you threw it out there and nothing happened with it. Or it completely train wrecked, or it fell apart, or there was just crickets or anything that you wanted to have happen with it. It didn't happen. What do you do? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Kevin Gregg. I'm a creative writer, producer, director. I am here to help you get your creative work done and help you make a thriving living from doing it. Um, yeah, you put all that time and energy and effort into something just to have it blow up or to just have like nothing come from it. Man, I've had that happen a couple of times for myself, where there's stuff where I've just like put energy, time, effort, whether it's been on podcast projects, whether it was something that I was trying to create when I was working with a client, where I was going like, this is it, man. I'm going to put all of my eggs into this basket. Come up with an incredible pitch and then just, yeah, yeah, I don't think we're going to do it. Or something that you've come up with. I've had this happen before too, where you come up with something, the idea is fantastic, and then when you start going through the process and it just starts kind of getting watered down, and it becomes the complete opposite of what you want to be. It doesn't even it doesn't even remotely feel like what it was that you hoped to do. What do you do? What do you do? Right? Um, it's a challenging thing. And it's so hard, especially for creatives, because, usually when it's really good stuff, like you're pouring a part of yourself into it, right? Like you are opening up your heart, your mind, your feelings, all of this other stuff into it, and you're pouring it in. I think that maybe there's a few things that are happening with this, right? Which is to recognize that creativity and creative work, it is an ongoing improvisational process, right? It's never about like, I think that if you can get this into your mind of like, yes, what your vision is and what the completed work will, what the completed project will be, and what the results of that completed project, it almost feels as if those are different various stages. It's amazing to have the vision for something, right? So much incredible stuff can happen out of having a creative idea and what you think it could be and what it could turn into. Then you have to sort of look at the process of what this means of like, what can I do with my given time constraints or materials that I have or money that's allotted or, any of those other factors that are involved in it and go, okay, I've got these constraints, right? I've got the $100 million movie that's in my mind, but I can only do something on a 300 buck budget, right? What do I do? So those constraints are interesting. We have to like pare it down. Or you've got like no money. You're just going, I don't have any of that stuff. What do I do with that? And there's something interesting that can happen during that problem solving process, right? Um, but the other side, and I think that that's what the main uh, idea behind this video is. What happens when you get through all of that, right? You've had the vision, you do the stuff, you've done all the work, and then it either just crashes or falls apart, or just like nobody responds to it. What do you do? I think that we have to have versions of, they used to call the after actions is part of post-mortems, is what they would also call them as well in the creative world, in the business world, or whatever. What's the post-mortem? The idea is like once you have done it, the idea is that you're taking a look at what happened in the process and taking a look at like what worked or what didn't work, right? And I think that that's a very important thing because it's not to get to a point when you release something and you don't receive the results that you were hoping for, or getting the attention or the monetary benefits from it, whatever that is. It's not to look at it and to go, well, that's it. I'll never do that again. Right. It's to look at it and to kind of go, all right, what are the things that seem to go well and seem to work in that process and with what I created? What are things that I can salvage is a rough word because it's kind of like, picking apart something that's completely dead. But, are there ideas or concepts or things that are in there that you go, you know, it may not have worked in this version of it, but I do think that there's something there that's worth it for whatever else it is I'm going to work on. Um, and to just not take it as well, that failed, that's it, I'm done. It would be like a kid trying to get onto a bike, trying to learn to ride a bicycle, and you fall down for the first time and you just go, that's it. I just can't ride a bike. You know? Or or a kid or a toddler, right? If a toddler had that, you know, uh thinking process when they first started to walk and they couldn't do it and they couldn't do it and just go, well, I guess I just can't walk. I think we have to take a look at sometimes our creative stuff that when it doesn't launch, it's the kid trying to ride the bike and you fall down and go, oh, okay, I haven't got it yet. There's something I'm either missing or something I'm not doing. Um, you know, are you on a are you on a bike that doesn't have a handlebar, right? Or are you trying to like literally drive a bike that only has, it's a frame for two wheels, but you only have one, right? Uh, maybe it's that. Maybe part of it is like having these little mini after actions for yourself and going, let me get honest. Where am I getting where am I getting wrong in this process? And I do think it's important why you have to surround yourself with other people, other trusted people and say, take a look at this. Where where am I getting this wrong? Because I'm so close to it, right? When you think about that bicycle analogy, right? It's the person that's like, I've got a handlebar. I can see that I've got a wheel in front of me, but sometimes you need the other person to say, did you see that you don't have a wheel in the back, right? Um, and bringing those people that are in your trusted circle that can like really helpfully pick apart what's going on with your process, right? There's probably going to be stuff that you don't want to hear, but I think it's important to be able to surround yourself with people in your community that are going to be able to call you out on where you're getting it wrong, or to be able to ask other people for help and to go, I just don't get this. Like every time I feel like I'm trying to put something together, it just feels like it doesn't go, or I'm not getting it out. And I think maybe we all need that extra set of eyes to kind of come in and go, have you thought about this? Right? Did you try X, Y, and Z? And maybe you might get that spark of an idea that keeps you going. I think that it's about getting back up and going at it again and saying, all right, what have I learned from this? And I know that as much as it feels painful that the thing didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, or that you didn't get the results, or that the vision didn't turn out exactly what it is, there are elements that happen during this process, whether it was through the vision or part of the creating of it, that I'm sure that there were some things that really continued to get you excited and to spark you, and to go back and to say, all right, let's revisit that. There's something there. I can feel it. There's something there. Let me continue to unpack it. So don't give up, right? See if you can invite other people that are in your immediate circle that have got your best interests in mind that can help point out where those elements are. And then I would say that the final thing with this is recognize that this is also a part of the process. That, yeah, things are not going to work out. It is when you take a look at movies that get released, it is a miracle that a movie comes together from the concept and the pitch and the development and the writing and the creating and putting it all together and the editing and putting all those things together and the distribution of it and people actually seeing it. And look, it's a miracle. There's so many different things that are all coming together to make that happen, right? Um, and that there are failures or disappointments or those other things that come along the way. I do think that there's something beneficial with trying to become as neutral as possible to when um, the difficulties or the challenges come at you, to as best as you can, not to be reactive to the hiccups that are going to come in your process. No doubt. Something is going to happen along the way, and you just have to expect that. Oh my gosh. Something happened on the day that I was going to release this stuff. Some major news event happened, and now I can't do it. Or, what happens if you're putting something out there and it looks like somebody else has something that's being released at the same time that is very similar or parallel to what it is that you're trying to release, right? How do you adapt to that? It's not about going into complete shutdown and curling into a ball. That's just not going to help yourself, right? It's to take a look and to neutrally assess what the problems and challenges are, and then go, all right, what's the next step? And that's also an important thing to have uh, a support team or a community that's around you as well. It'll help you get through that. Speaking of communities that get to help you, we have a community that's available now. It's called Working Creatives. You can find the link to it down in the description for this video. Working Creatives is a community that we've built for people that are working on their creative projects to show up and to get their work done and to be accountable as they're trying to get their stuff done. Um, Come over and join us. It is a great community to be a part of. You get encouraging posts to start dialogue with other people that are working through it. Maybe you can find other people that are working on similar projects that you're dealing with so that you can maybe find accountability partners or somebody to kind of like workshop, a problem that you're going through. You'll find it over the Working Creatives community. So please check that out in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, come back, like, subscribe, share. I will keep bringing you more videos that will help you get your creative work done. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.